free search engine where you are able to access the Medline database electronically. You need to have internet facilities to have access to all these electronic databases. And PubMed is a free one where you have systematic reviews available, clinical trials available, and clinical queries available. You have TRIP, which means turning research into practice as one-time registration. ResearchGate is yet another one-time registration is required. And these are the databases which are basically for the authors, the academic community databases where you can always request and upload your articles, your publications, for a large number of citations that you want others to read, and also will enhance your research, uh, impact factor of that. And yet another is Agency Health Research Query National Guidelines Clearinghouse website, which is on the agency HRQ. So this is another John Briggs Institute where you have evidence-based practice network, and we have this JBI database of systematic reviews and implementation reports journal. This is just to show you an interface of this site where you can have your systematic reviews. You can have access to these and implementation reports. So, and this is available on Walter Kluwer, Lippincott site, so publisher site. So this is again a paid one. So searching the different databases is necessary for writing systematic reviews, and to name and begin with PubMed, Medline all the time, Embase, Ovid, Medline, Cochrane Library, which includes the Cochrane Central Register of Control Trials. Then you have clinical trials, LILAC database, which is Latin American and Caribbean Health Sciences database. Actually, these databases I'm just naming because when you write systematic reviews, few writing, depending on the topic of your interest, and writing systematic reviews or any other review or article, sometimes it is specified that you need to consult these databases. So if it is specified by the institute that you need to search these databases, you should know that these are few of the databases which are mainly required to search for writing systematic reviews. And other databases that can help you and complement your search are essential in the specialized topic areas are the subject, subject specialist databases like Biosys for the biologists, SINHAL for nursing people, like we say cumulative index to nursing and health literature, which is useful as an excellent source in patient care. And this also has developed control vocabulary. So SINHAL is again a paid database. And I would appreciate that these databases, the paid databases, have their own standardized control vocabulary thesaurus, and while typing the term that you are, of your interest, while typing that, in case that is not available, it suggests the alternative terms. So your alternative terms or the synonymous terms can be made use of, and they are of basically necessary for you to make use of while conducting your or building your search strategy, because this helps you enhance your relevant searches and relevant hits to retrieve them in a better way. And this also avoids your irrelevant, or maybe your relevant articles that you tend to overlook at times if you don't use the synonymous words and just make use of the general natural language. So making use of standardized vocabulary is very important while constructing your search strategy. So Web of Science is yet another, indexing and abstracting service based on the Clarivate analytics site. It is available by these publishers, and it's again, I would say, an aggregator to help you help you even, decide which are the journals of your interest, which will help you enhance your impact factor, where you should publish your articles. So Web of Science and Scopus are two databases which help you, calculate your high impact factor of the articles. It will help you cite also to the maximum, as well as give you journals, list journals of your subject interest where you should publish, because they are of the high impact quality. So we have, in case people who are working on complementary medicine, complementary and alternative medicine, we have various other databases, which is also available on PubMed. And these are the few databases which are available for complementary and alternative medicine databases, which is, again, I have just typed this in Google and you got them. So you can just have a look at these. Agricola, CAM on PubMed, Dr. Duke's phytochemical and ethnobotanical databases. So various other databases of your interest, subject specialist databases with complementary and alternative medicine will also enhance your search strategy if it is a multidisciplinary search that you need to conduct. So various other databases, you can just have a look. PsychoInfo for behavioral and cognitive therapies, and Popline is for population, covers population issues. LILAC is again a health science literature published by Latin America and Caribbean authors. African Index Medicus, WHO Global Health Library, Sociological Abstracts. So 3IE Impact Evaluation Repository. This means the 3IE stand for International Initiative for Impact Evaluation. It is a database which is published impact evaluations of development interventions, and it's a repository of around 2,600, maybe above, approximately, articles and studies as a database for evidence of what works in international development in low and middle income countries. We have EconLit is another, which is related to economics as a subject database. Then we have REPEC IDEA, which is a repository of research papers in economic literature. And I am acknowledging this site through which I just got the above databases. So coming over to what actually are the various resources that you need to consult while conducting your systematic searches, for studies. We have various electronic sources, print sources, and gray literature. And under electronic sources, you need databases, electronic libraries, electronic journals, books, and this is all available through internet. You have print sources, which covers journals, textbooks, which is again done through hand searching. And gray literature, again, could be done by using internet as well as hand searching. And we have various databases. We have conference proceedings, research funders. These are the various sources through which you can have access, but you need to decide exactly what and how, which actually resource do you want, whether you want a primary resource, whether you want electronic resources to be searched, or you want gray literature. That you have to decide. You are the deciding point, to make use of the literature. So which are the reliable medical related search engines? PubMed, which is freely available to access Medline database. All literature related to medical science is available on PubMed. We have various other subject databases also available on this PubMed. All right. So then we have Ovid platform for Lippincott, which is available on Lippincott, Vultr, Kluwer. We have Elsevier Publications, that is Science Direct database. Scopus and Embase are again another indexing and abstracting services. Web of Science, an online subscription-based scientific citation service originally produced by the Institute for Scientific Information. This is again produced by the Institute of scientific information. This is Web of Science and Scopus are definitely a subscribed based scientific citation indexing and abstracting services. Both help you, for the institutional ranking as well as the author ranking, so always make use of these databases to get your articles published in good reputed journals through them in the subject of your interest, because these will have them with high impact factors. Those journals coming in Google, if you type, may show various other sites of various other publishers, but you never know that they are having that impact factor or not. So always go in for these reputed indexing and abstracting services to get your articles published. Then we have Cochrane Library on, and also Cochrane Central Library on Wiley platform. We have this, the BMJ people also have this collaboration of Cochrane Library with them, but those institutes who are subscribing to BMJ, they should, they should request and put forth their request to the librarians of their institute to have this BMJ best practice subscribed to their institute, because it has Cochrane Library also within that. And if you people are not having up to date, this BMJ best practice can be the point of care treatment, especially for the clinical research people, because it has the comorbidities widget also in it. So at the one click only, you get so many things, your treatment, mode of treatment, your other symptoms and other things. You can always interact with them and get your, information that you want. So, and finally, you have Google Scholar, which is free, but others are paid sites. So Web of Science, I've just tried to show you the interface. You need to register on it. Once you register, you need to sign in. Then you can always conduct your searches. In advanced search, you can, because while conducting your advanced searches, you need to attach 2-3 terms together by making use of Boolean operators. And what are the Boolean operators? And, or, not, same, near. If you can see on the right here, you can see the Booleans here. And you have the field tags. So whichever thing you want to use, whether you want to join 2 terms together, you will do it with and. If you want vast area, expand your search, you will use and make use of synonyms, then you make use of or. Like I say, cancer or neoplasm or tumors, right? If I say diabetes with COVID, so I'll say diabetes and COVID-19 pandemic. So something like this, diabetes and hypertension. So when you need to take information by joining 2 words, you will make use of and. And if you need to search with the synonymous terms, make use of or. That means you are expanding your searches by making use of and, or sorry. And not would mean that you want one term, not the other, right? If you are, suppose you want child, but with the age specific this thing, so you will say this child and not that. So you will make use of filter there, right? Am I able to convey what I'm trying to tell? Yes or no? Are you hearing? Am I audible, please?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So what I am trying to convey, is it on? I mean, is it clear? Please let me know and let me get the.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What I have told is fine. It's going like
yes.
this. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Because that.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We are following it.
Okay. Because I am I'm making things simpler for the beginners actually, so that these people feel that, I'm not very sure that you have already worked on PubMed or not, but still was just trying to make you all aware about various other databases also. And you can always conduct your searches in Web of Science, like this. Fine, is that okay? So this is yet another
Yes, ma'am.
science, this thing. Once you register, you can conduct your searches, and in search history, you save your searches. Then you can combine, once you do one by one your searches, then you combine your this thing. Electronic databases facility is that everything is at the click. Manually, when we used to do it, you had to be, we need to construct the searches manually and then, feed it. That was way back in 90s, 98, 95, 98. We used to do offline and online medical searches, that way. So thank you. So that, so gray literature resources, we have these also, few other gray literature sources which deal with the conference proceedings and research funders. Also, we have these sites, you can just note them down, and this will enhance your searches, So for those, we have various other open access search engines also, because when you don't have access for full text articles, there are, through an institution, there are several medical journal search engines that provide open access to free journal articles. We have Directory of Open Access Journals, Open Science IT, Free Medical Journals, HighWire Press, OmniMedicalSearch.com, Directory of Open Access of books also, ebooks also, and MedBio World, which is yet another available database on Reuters Health and Medical News. For the past 3 years, access to online journals, full access to scholarly publications, access to highly rated genomics blog is also available. So for those various interests of various subjects, so one can always have access to all these open access search engines, which will help you get your information. I'm acknowledging all these sites to which I picked up. Coming over to the building of search strategy, making use of Boolean operators, we have actually 5 steps. That is formulating a focused question, turning a focused question into a search building strategy, turning a focused question into search building, this thing, understanding its concepts, then search strategies and use of Boolean operators, search sources both manually as well as electronically, and then finally evaluating and making use of reference managers. So how do you formulate a focus question? I'm sure since your classes started since yesterday, and you must be made aware about PICO, which is very much essential in systematic reviews. So PICO is one structure created by health research people. They are using PICOT structure, which means patient, problem, population, I for intervention, C for comparison, O for outcome, and T for time. Time is optional for all of you. Time, you can use it as a filter also, right? For how much duration is your study, that time, or maybe intervention. In intervention, you can make use of time factor. That depends on your search query, search concept, your study that you are conducting. So basically, you are formulating your focus question, on PICOT basis, and your electronic databases like Embase and databases have it in the form of PICOT also. So this is very easy for you. Once you understand the concept of your question that you create, and then find the keywords, then I am sure you are able to conduct your searches. In social sciences research, we have SPICE structure, which consists of setting, population, intervention, comparison, evaluation. So coming over to an example of PICO, I have, is nicotine replacement therapy an effective, safe smoking cessation treatment in pregnant women? Then P is your pregnant women, I is intervention, that is nicotine replacement therapy. Comparison, there's no comparison, and outcome is your safe smoking cessation. So coming over to yet another example is randomized trial of vitamin D supplementation and risk of acute respiratory infection in school children. So this is yet another, example. How will you define the concept, take out the key terms according to PICO? That you have to decide, segregate that accordingly, and then you start framing this is again SPICE structure example. So finally, when you develop a search strategy, you need to follow some process. That is asking question for yourself, that whether you want to search the topic, or you want to focus your search on a particular thing, make it very specific, or want to search in a broader manner. So you have to first ask this question, whether your question is to be focused or it is too broad. Comes your need, you will define your need. How will you define your need? What sort of information that you want? You want and how much do you want is your need. You have to decide that also. Whether you want from primary resources, obviously the time period, everything will be defined here. You have to decide that while conducting researches. Then you will identify the concepts. Like you will mainly identify the concept from your question that you have framed. Then you will make use of these concepts, by taking them as keywords. You will start searching. You will take their synonyms. You will select terms by not only your natural language that you have typed, but their synonyms also. Like I told, cancer, neoplasm, tumor, or maybe your other these things. Say we take a heart attack as a normal this thing. Myocardial infarction is yet another medical term. So these are, you have to see which medical term you tend not to miss, while typing your or conducting your searches. You need to be taking all those terminology. You need to select that and make use of that searching by making use of Boolean operator called OR. So that will cover your broader topic. Okay. So selecting terms, then you come to asking which sources you need to select, whether you need primary sources. That actually can be done along with need also. So basically these go simultaneously. This is not that you have to be step by step doing that only, but you can always take that into consideration on your second step also. Then finally, you will start constructing a search with appropriate commands for the system selected. And am I searching efficiently? Did I retrieve all information that I need? So you will revise also, re-revise. If you don't get the relevant hits, proper relevant hits, then you will reframe your searches, revise them, manage these results. How do I get full text? How will I use this information in the future? Can I trust this information? Is this a highly cited article? And did I get, exact what I wanted? So all this will be done in these 10 steps. That is that you ask, define your need, identify concepts, select terms, select sources, search, revise, manage your results by making use of, reference managers, and then evaluate them whether you got the right or not the right hit. And then you finally apply them and write a meta-analysis or write a review or whatever. So what needs to be remembered is that your question drives the search strategy, and there's no best one way to search. Avoid one-stop searching to prevent bias. So all this to enhance this in a simpler way, I will just take you to an example. So your basic search strategy is picking up a search topic, dividing into concepts, finding words, keywords, or subject headings through making use of standardized terminology, thesaurus, and represent these concepts, and then combine them with the Boolean operators and or not, and refine search with additional terms or limiting factors. So giving an example and making things simpler for all of you is that ask what health problems are associated with water pollution. So the concept here is health and water pollution. So your need is scholarly primary research articles. Main concept is health and water pollution. Select terms are health would be what health? Environmental degradation, agricultural management, and other various health issues. Synonymous for health would be health, illness, disease, etc. And what is water pollution? Water could be river, lakes, sea, domestic water, etc. Pollution could be oil spills, chemical, biological, toxicity, etc. And alternative spellings also do matter, and plurals also give you which here all for alternative spellings, plurals and the capitals, you make use of truncation marks or these strings that you make. I'll just in my following slides you will have that also. So basically what is the difference between the the alternative or the synonyms terms that I was saying. So your keyword and the subject. Your subject is neoplasm, but what are the various other keywords? You can make use of cancer, tumor, hormonal cancers. These are the keywords being used in the mesh, your subject standardized terminology. So you need to decide exactly which keyword is most appropriate in your building your search. You have to decide that what term do you need to make use of. Your primary various sources, electronic sources, we have evidence-based, Cochrane Library, clinical evidence, clinical trials on PubMed. We have subject-specific databases. We have related disciplines of which can be made use of. Giving another simpler example is of the search strategy formulation is how will you construct a search and make use of the commands, and make use of truncation marks also, like your $sign, your star sign, or hashtags. Every database has its own different truncation marks. And in every database, all databases, whether paid or free, are user-friendly. They are giving the tutorials or help line. So they are very user-friendly and you can always make use of them, eh, to become an expert. So my question here is aspirin effective in preventing a future heart attack in the elderly? You have aspirin. So concept one is aspirin, two is preventing, third is heart attack, and fourth is elderly. Concept one is aspirin, which means aspirin platelet aggregation inhibitor. Prevention is prevention and control. Heart attack could be myocardial infarction or infarct. So infarct and heart attack is using $signs is because you can either, it will take all the documents which has infarct, but infarction also with it, heart attack, and attacks also S attached to it. So this $sign actually is written so that it will consider all the terms with attack and infarct along with it. So your expansion of terms is taken, concept is taken into. Then elderly. Elderly could be your elderly or the aged. You have to decide. Elderly could be geriatrics also. So you have to decide what is your elderly, whom do you call? Whether it is middle-aged elderly or whether it is geriatrics, very old people. So you have to decide the standard terminology, you have to decide. So once you decide the concepts, once you decide, take the synonyms as your terms, and one by one you search, this is one search, second search, third, fourth. Once you do conduct your searches, this will be done by one or two, then three or four when you combine them. पहले single term करना है, फिर combine करना है इनको और के साथ, and finally जब result आ जाएगा तो आपने इन concepts को and के साथ कर देना है combine. So when searching, enter one term phrase at a time, keeps terms in separate concept sets, combine search terms with or first, then with and. So your Boolean operators are made use of like this. When you do single search terms, that is called a basic search. When you have an author search done, single author search done, it is basically a basic search where you just only make use of a single term. When you're only searching by author or by just a subject. But in an advanced search, you have and, which is assumed each time you add another step to the query, or not, which is used to modify current query, we change Boolean operators. So how do you do it? Giving an example, say we have hip and fracture. How do you do it? Make use of both the terms, hip and fracture. So both terms coming here. We have hip here and fracture here, but we want hip and fracture here. So vitamin D supplementation and children and acute respiratory infections. So this set includes both the terms. We want this part. So it becomes so specific, not these separate terms. So it narrows the search. And with or, it includes or, yani ki either terms. We have renal, we have kidney, and then we have renal or kidney both here. So we have these documents, we have these documents, and we have this also. So it is expanded. Large number of documents come. And not would mean pig, not guinea, or maybe child, not adult. Or if we say adult, or maybe child, not adolescent. So it depends what you want. So not is being used for exclusion of a term. So here that means this part. And the set includes records containing only one term and not the other term. I hope things are clear. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I hope you are understanding things, and I'm making it simpler and clearer for you all. And anything else, any query that comes up in your mind, you can freely ask me so that I can simultaneously
Sure.
remove.
Sure.
So other searching techniques are reference chaining, that is obviously follow up references from reference lists of relevant articles, hand searching, which means identify key journals in your field and browse them cover to cover. Then reference feedback, which means subject index keys, and then you can always modify your search terms. That means your C also related records. Like we say, child, and maybe in your topic, child is not there. Maybe the adult is there, but you have taken child with making use of filter. So you can always say child in your topic. Say thesis has some term which may not be given in here in your mesh term, subject heading, but you need to know, generally come with a subject approach. I need this, I want topics that have this term. So sometimes what we do, the librarians, when we maintain the record, we take the we make subject heading through mesh only, thus make use of standardized. So sometimes what we say, some alternative term is given, then we just say C related record this, and that wherever we give that reference, we write the class number there. So basically, the book or the journal or the literature that we have a record of, we guide by making use of an alternative term or maybe a related record of that if we have, and we say refer that. So a person coming with that particular term may not have, but then we can refer it to its synonymous word, and that's how this relevance feedback helps you get a particular topic of your interest. So database features, which I already have tried to simplify and elaborate on, like truncation and wildcards, like we have star and $, which is used basically for different word stems and word endings. Like we say compute, index, indexers, could be indexers, something like this, child, star, or maybe $, which may include children, child, children, something like this. And then we have alternate spelling. We say pediatrics, PAE or PDIA. So these anesthesia, AE or ANES. So that depends. Like we have, I'm in the example, I'm giving you leukemia. So that depends, your Europe spellings or the English spellings that you have to see. Proximity and adjacency operators. This is again when we make use of to which allows you to search for exact phrase that you want. When we say prevention and malaria parasite, it is malaria parasite would either be in quotes, or if it is malaria parasite only to be searched, then it will be in the quotes. But if we put it, make use of with prevention, then it will be in parentheses. So that's how we make use of these proximity and adjacency operators. So in case you get too many hits, set your limits before you do anything, or make use of PubMed mesh subject heading, identify other useful but frequently overlooked features of the PubMed database. So I will just skip over. I hope you all are aware about PubMed. I need not go into details of PubMed, but definitely it helps you understand the purpose and content, and it helps you perform the basic search in PubMed, and it also familiarizes its special features, that is the related articles, journal links to full text, mesh subject headings, my NCBI and others. I'm sure you are all working on PubMed. Are you conducting searches on PubMed, please? Yes or no? Can I have your feedback?
Yes, yes, yes,
You all are,
yes, yes. We use PubMed.
so you are all familiarized with it. I'm just skipping through it, and I'm in no mood to elaborate on what all is PubMed, but I'm sure you are all available. You're all aware of that what all you get in PubMed, because it gives you everything best online. It's the best online medical database of its kind and can be accessed by many, and you can search for free, and it's much more. And the distinctive feature of Medline is that the record is indexed with National Library of Medicine's controlled vocabulary, medical subject headings, mesh. So I'll straight away come over to the mesh. PubMed new interface is this, trying to show this. And you, on the right, if you see, you have login where you need to register. If you need to save your searches, you need to register. Then and only can you go into the advanced searches and get everything done there and save your searches. But if, in case a superficial basic search has to be done, then you may type here and do the search. But to go into advanced, you need to register. That is for sure. Okay? And this is an old one. So once you register, then you will then you are able to actually access all these things. What are there? What was in the previous PubMed old interface, right? So all this is done only when you are registered for the search. You have PubMed the central, also an extension of it, which helps you access the archival, actually full text archives of biomedical and life sciences journal literature. And it is also being used by many other general treatments and other things. PubMed helps you do that. So this is basically just this interface that I've tried to show you. Coming over directly to what mesh is. It is a controlled vocabulary thesaurus used for indexing articles for PubMed. It is a hierarchical structure from broad to specific, translates common terms to mesh terms. The mesh contains approximately 26,000 terms and is updated annually. And we have at least 10 to 12 mesh terms, assigned to each article by the indexers there, sitting there, and indexing is done at the level of the specificity, like a tree, from broad terms to specific term. So as you see the logo here, if you can observe the logo here, you can see that how it is going from the broader base to the specific with the branches. So we have different categories in mesh under which you have to decide your basically what category you want to make use of while conducting your search. Suppose you are pediatricians, maybe you are and your area of interest is, say, pulmonary respiration. So your respiration in pediatrics, whether it is related to say whether it is related, your respiratory is related to whether it comes under the category of biology or chemical substances or pharmacology or some other diseases, that you have to decide. So medical subject headings are actually categorized into various categories, broadly under various categories, and then they are, then they may be used accordingly to the level of specificity. And giving an example of mesh, like we say in the natural language, we say breast cancer, you have cancer as neoplasm, middle ear infections as otitis media, heart attack as myocardial infarction. So these are the synonymous words. These are the mesh terms, actually. These are the mesh terms, and these are the natural English terms. So you need not, while conducting your searches, you need to be very particular about it, that you are using your standardized terminology also. So mesh trees are grouped in family hierarchies, जो मैं बता रही हूँ आपको called trees, जो categories बता रही हूँ ना, वो उसके हिसाब से आप अपनी रेस्पिरेटरी डिजीज को पेडियाट्रिक्स की डिपेंड करता है किसके साथ जोड़ते हो, किस फैमिली हियरार्की के अंडर आएगा, वो है ये कहने का मतलब है कि ब्रॉडली किसके अंडर है एंड स्पेसिफिक आप उसके हिसाब से करोगे. लाइक यू वांट रेस्पिरेशन का केमिकल और फार्माकोलॉजिकल एक्शन ऑफ अ ड्रग ओवर योर रेस्पिरेशन that you want which comes under disease, so it depends whether you want a major subject heading or a keyword and then join your pharmacological drug as a under your pharmacological action you will make use of that drug, तो वो सब heading की तरह use होगा या whether main heading की तरह use होगा. That is what actually this mesh helps you in sorting out your while building your search strategy. So mesh are grouped in family hierarchies called trees. Tree represents each subject's relationship with the other subject heading. A tree progresses from a general broad subject term to the most specific narrow term. So that is what is, and this is another example that I have given. Stroke जो है basically disease category में डाला है. Disease category से सीधा nervous system में, फिर nervous system से brain diseases में, फिर cerebrovascular diseases में, and ये plus sign जो बता रहा है ये कह रहा है कि further specificity पे जा सकते हो आप. So that's how it works. The relationship works like this. And giving विटामिन डी टर्म लिखते हो तो इसकी 20 रिजल्ट्स आ रहे हैं. जब तुम 20 रिजल्ट्स आते हैं तो तुमने डिसाइड करना है कि विच टर्म, विच एग्जैक्टली इज द term that is related to you or related to your search subjects related जो है. Suppose I take vitamin D only, मैं क्लिक करती हूँ इसको, तो क्लिक करने के बाद add to search builder and search PubMed, तो तुम्हारी यहाँ search जो है build होती जाती है. ठीक है, पर इसके लिए भी ये जो sign in my NCBI आ रहा है, this is actually a platform where you need to register for PubMed, and then every time when you conduct your searches and want to save your searches, you can do that. This helps you. My NCBI helps you in signing, getting email alerts on the subject of your interest, and then also save your searches. ठीक है. So ये विटामिन डी को जब मैंने क्लिक किया तो देखो सिर्फ मैंने अभी ऐड टू सर्च बिल्डर नहीं किया, इसी को क्लिक किया था तो इसके सब हेडिंग्स आ गए. इफ यू सी दीज आर द सब हेडिंग. कि डिपेंड करता है कि आपने विटामिन डी को किस उसमें लेना है, किस सब हेडिंग कौन सा लगाना है, कि थेरेपेटिक यूज करना है, फार्माकोकाइनेटिक करना है, फार्माकोलॉजी करना है, क्या करना है, एडवर्स इफेक्ट्स देखने हैं, क्या करना है वो आपने डिसाइड करना है. एंड हियर जब मैंने फार्माकोलॉजिकल एक्शन को किया इसको टिक, तो उसमें आप ये देखो कि फार्माकोलॉजिकल एक्शन ऑफ विटामिन डी में, विटामिन में ये क्या आ रहा है. So this comes under chemicals and drugs category. देखा मैं आपको बोल रही थी ना. So it depends what exactly do you want. So in which category you want to put. So understanding mesh is very important, and during the search process, it will help you make number of decisions that will influence your search results. Which mesh to use, which subheading, mesh term, concept, and pharmacological action. मतलब supplementary concept वगैरह कौन सा क्या use करना है वो. Plus whether you want to explode. Explode means whether you want to expand your search, broader point of view लेना है या focus करना है, और कौन से सब हेडिंग्स अटैच करने हैं उसके साथ, वो तुम्हारा डिसाइड करना है तुमने. So a user has to decide about what exactly he wants in the topic. So major mesh is a controlled vocabulary term that helps you in, understand the most important concepts which are covered in an area represented in the record. So mesh terms are assigned major topic. Major मतलब वही कि जो broader term में है या सब headings में use होना है, और ये automatically PubMed pick कर लेता है, automatically pick कर लेता है ना. Special features in PubMed जो हैं वो ये हैं कि PubMed literature using limits, related articles, display features, print and save features, clinical queries, my NCBI, links to full text publication types, ये सारा कुछ जो है होता है. और my NCBI क्या करता है? It allows you to create automatic email alerts, save your searches and records, filter results by subject, and much more. And in much more, what it includes is that you can save your citations, journal articles, books in my bibliography, and manage the review articles. So major points, the quick tip is that you look for full text icons, use mesh database for official terms, subheadings and restrictions, use the tutorials in PubMed to become an expert searcher, use the limits button to narrow search, and then click on PubMed's help button to learn about truncation, phrase searching, class logo. Okay. Phrase searching and more. Be aware the double quotes and asterisk can retrieve different hits. Use the history button to combine and review searches, capitalize Boolean operators. So basically when you make use of Boolean operators, it has to be in caps. So Boolean operators will be made use of in caps. Practically, probably Madam Parinita will take your class, and practically it will be more, you will be getting it more, it will be made more simpler, and you can get it, it will be, you can understand better when practically Madam Parinita will take. An explode term will mean to increase or broaden the search. So this is again just yet another, this is EDS on EBSCO host, which has been subscribed by the library, actually. PGI library is subscribing to it, and where we just put up the, the terms, and then we just tell them how it could be, what exactly the keywords should be put, and how EDS helps you in. Okay, fine. So this is Cochrane library. You need to again sign in. You have to register in Cochrane library also. And it is again a subscribed databases. It helps you give you Cochrane reviews, your trials, clinical answers, and also helps you in various reviews. You can upload them also and get them also. Get full text from the central register library. So this is how you browse by topic, and whatever your interest is, you just click onto it and you go to that particular, topic of your interest and browse and do the searches. And this is again Embase database interface where you do this searches. You have Pico Wizard, PV Wizard, medical advice, drugs also, disease also. So whichever way you want to search, that is it. But for all this, you need to log in. First register and then log in. Then only can you save. And even email it, email your searches and share them also with your team that you're working with. That we have Ovid. This is the Ovid interface, which is on Walter Kluwer, and we need to mark this for the search. So finally, after conducting your searches in various databases, you come to evaluation. So how will you evaluate whether it is relevant retrieval or not relevant retrieval, whether you will eliminate terms with poor yield, eliminate and re-revise them, make use of alternative either terminology or synonymous words that you have left out. So that you have to decide. And those articles which are not retrieved but relevant, you will make use of reference lists, related articles from the key articles to identify these. And if they are not relevant and not retrieved, so obviously no action will be taken. So that's, and finally, how will you, document your search? This, you need to document your search. This will help you avoid duplication, allows you replication in finishing your search. That is date of search, sources search, number of hits, data, style of your search strategy, date of search strategy, that all needs to be documented. And it can be documented only when you register in a database and then save them, making different folders. Online also, while doing your searches in different databases, simultaneously, if you have a reference manager, you can save and export them. Import. You can directly import from a database to the reference manager in the form of a bibliography. Plus the reference style that you want, you select that and you can do it. Or different folders में, जैसे PubMed में की तो PubMed folder बना लिया, Embase में की Embase folder बना लिया, और Ovid में की तो Ovid folder बना लिया. This is very convenient at just a click. This helps us guide even it helps, maintaining all this will help others also. It will be a guide for others also. You can always help others maintain all this. So by making use of the reference management tool or a reference manager tool called EndNote, which is again a purchased version by the PGI, we are making use of EndNote, but we have Zotero and Mendeley also, which are free. So it depends what how you are comfortable. We are comfortable with EndNote because it gives you exhaustive features when it is subscribed by the library. So we are able to maintain the bibliographies and the style of the bibliography as well as site also simultaneously while maintaining the bibliography and completing our searches. So sources of help also will help you, your local library, your databases that you need to search, web-based, whether web-based teaching has been there that you have used or whether you have contacted your librarian. So by the end of the session, I'm sure you are able to build up your searchable question, understand how mesh will work and make use of your mesh headings and why they're useful, minimize false hits and save time, and identify other useful but frequently overlooked features of the PubMed database. So finally, thank you, a big thank you to all of you for the patient hearing. And I hope I'm able to convey all of you how the different databases work, and they will work. You need to subscribe to them. What are the free as well as the subscribed databases and how they will be helpful. You can always make use of Mesh or Mtree for Embase and Mesh for PubMed. So Mesh, I took it because, and I have tried to make it clear, is because it's a free search engine. PubMed is a free aggregator through which you have access to Medline. So for any other query, you are free to ask me. You can contact me, and even your own librarian can help you out. Thank you very much for the patient hearing. Any queries? Please let me know.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for this wonderful and informative lecture. We hope this will help participants. Now the session is open for question and comments. Participants can now unmute yourself and ask. We have a question from Seema Rai. Ma'am,
yes.
Unmute. You can ask your question.
Escape कर दूं मैं?
I think she left. So please submit your feedback. Participants are requested.
You need, she's not, Seema Rai is asking
No,
what question? What is she asking? I'm not able to see actually here.
Actually, she's saying that they do not have access to Embase, Scopus, Cochrane. Where
is she from?
Can we help? Yes.
Yes, we'll help you out. You can send your full text article request in pgilibrary@yahoo.com. But you can ask your are you people maintaining the libraries in your institutions?
No, she is not here, ma'am. Actually, she left. So we'll mail her.
Yes, she can mail us. No, she was here earlier.
We'll inform her.
Please do.
Ma'am, what is the you said the address of PGI library? How to send for the request
full
for the
text
full
article
text?
you can request. That is pgilibrary@yahoo.com.
PGI library@yahoo.com. Thank you so much.
You are from which institutes? Can I have your name, please?
Ma'am, I'm from Guwahati University, Guwahati, Assam.
Okay. Medical Institute?
Yeah. Bioengineering and Technology Department.
Okay, no problem. But you can always ask your librarians for help. So you can route either directly or ask your librarians to contact us.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for a patient hearing. I hope things are clear, and much more will be put up by Madam Parinita practically when she'll help you out. And any queries, you can always come to me. No problems. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.